Drawdown Georgia is meant to be a movement that eventually can help our state achieve carbon neutrality. And that's a big and lofty idea, but when it comes down to it, it can be reduced to numbers. Our state puts up about 125 million metric tons of carbon dioxide on net a year, 125 megatons, if you will. And the research team from the best universities in Georgia, in studying the climate solutions with the greatest carbon reduction potential for our state, they have identified 20 high impact solutions, 20 solutions that can get at least one of those 125 megatons out of our carbon footprint within this decade. And within this solution sector, within land sinks, there are 3 solutions. I want to name them and tell you how much more of it we would need for a megaton, because it's a significant amount of carbon, but it's also doable. If we get enough of these, we can actually achieve that lofty goal of drawdown for our state. So the first solution within land sinks is temperate forest stewardship. And for that to get a megaton of carbon reduction, we would need to increase forest cover by 3.4% in our state. The second solution is coastal wetlands. And to get a megaton there, we would need to increase our coastal wetland area by 71%. And the final solution in this sector is afforestation and silvopasture, which might be a bit of an interesting idea to you all, maybe a new word, and we'll explore it a bit more this evening. But we would need 7% of current pasture land in Georgia to adopt silvopasture and plant hardwoods and loblollies in a mix. So there's a lot of potential, but beyond just what is possible for more carbon sequestration, we need to also recognize that Georgia's forest land, our land, is already doing so much to help keep our carbon footprint less than it is.
There is not a day in your life, not a second in your life that goes by when you aren't touching a forest product. And by that, I mean, of course, all the basics, paper and wood and toilet paper and paper towels and all those things that we've become accustomed to, but also the air we breathe is mostly coming from the trees we plant, and the water that we're consuming for a variety of different reasons is also coming through. So on a daily basis, all of us depend on forests and trees for our comfort, our survival, and our progress. And really, I felt very strongly that the #1 forestry state in the nation, which is Georgia, we do have more private timberland than any other state. We have more industrial output than in any other state, providing those things that we all absolutely need in air and water, but as well as in a variety of products that we're consuming every day that we can make forever, quite frankly, if we do it right. And to come here and to really make this the #1 forestry association in the country, and to make sure that that we can do everything possible within our power to make sure that we always remain the #1 forestry state in the nation, that those trees and that wildlife and those jobs and those people and those products that are so critical to our survival, comfort, and progress continue being a part of our lives. This map does a great job, I think, of illustrating how important forestry is to this state, just in a graphic sense. Everything that's shaded in either that light green or kind of brownish green is forest cover in the state of Georgia. The white areas are either urban or agricultural. So our footprint in terms of tree growth is everywhere. Scientific research, management, better practices borrowed from all over the world, and more knowledge and know-how around not just forest but water and wildlife have helped us create what you see here. Helped us create a state that at one point didn't have, probably about 2/3 of the state didn't have many trees on it at all, and that would be what you would see if you'd been here in 1820 versus 2020. So how did we get there? Well, I'm pleased to say that we've been planting over 200 million trees a year in the state of Georgia. That surpasses anything else that any other state in this nation has been doing. In the 5 years that I've been in this job, in Georgia, we've planted about 1.1 billion trees. That's something that we should all be proud of. We planted one for you. We planted 21 trees, for you, 21 for your kids, for your brother, for your sister, for your parent, for your grandparent. Ultimately for us, what we really want to make sure that we do is that we're maximizing our working force, that we're positioning them as that natural climate solution. But, it's that process has made us kind of go through this evolution that has continued till today of thinking, wow, our community, those private landowners, those people that are making things out of trees, those folks that are recycling, boxes and doing all these other things, we have been for decades really at the forefront of a natural climate solution. We just never really thought of ourselves that way. We never thought of ourselves as being the ones that would probably have the largest at scale 22 million acre driving force to be able to reduce the carbon footprint of the state and of this world.